And welcome back one last time for today, the first day of the Syndicate Competitive League in February. We want to, before we even start here, thank our sponsors one more time, Monocle Madness, Eve Bet, and Summer Blink. Thanks again for the help, guys. Thank you to CCP Bro and CCP Fozzie, CCP Navigator, and CCP Arrow, all of whom have been instrumental in making this happen. We are looking at the final match of a best of three between Deepwater and Scrumptious Ocular Secretion Collectors. This is the losers bracket final match of the day. Winner stays in the tournament, the loser goes home. I'm Bacchanalian here with Seldrine, and he'll give you the intro on the red team.
Yep, in the red corner we have the Scrumptious Ocular Secretion Collectors. They've warped their entire team in at 30 kilometers, and we have a Minmatar rush. We have 2 Sleipnirs, a Scimitar, Cyclone, 2 Hawks, a Saber, and a Mollusk.
And for the blue team, Deepwater, they're going with the if it ain't broke, don't fix it strategy. They brought their Curse, 3 Sacrilege, Oneros, 2 Punisher, and Griffin setup yet again. We'll see if it works for them once more.
Yep, the countdown is just finishing. It's on like Donkey Kong, and we are go.
It's worth noting that the blue team warped in at about 50, but because of the angle they came in at, they weren't actually that far off of the red team. They were at a very, very acute angle. So they are pretty close to each other, and the red team has made a beeline straight for them. Some of their smaller ships are pulling range, but looks like they're going to dive right on in here.
Yep, they are just piling in there like dogs on fire. The Mollusk is kiting away, and the Sleipnirs are now on top of the blue team.
Well, I've never seen a dog on fire, but I imagine he would jump on Deepwater.
Well, let me tell you, they run. Not quite as fast as a Sleipnir, but they run, and these Sleipnirs are on top of this Mike chair in his Aneros, and he is rapidly dropping into shield.
And it's also worth mentioning while that happens that Captain Rasmus was our contest winner from the last time. I apologize not mentioning that sooner. Congratulations to Captain Rasmus. 1 billion is coming your way shortly.
Yeah, and we can see that damage from these Sleipnirs now on that Aneros is going to be dropping into armor. It does not appear he was shield time though, so they may take some time to get through this armor of this Aneros. And at the same time, they're taking out the Punisher and the Griffin on the blue team as well.
Just to say, someone got very angry at that Griffin. He instantly went into low armor, and now he's in structure. The Oneros attempting to rep him, but really not doing enough. Punisher's going to live a little longer, but...
Yeah, the Punisher's got quite a nice armor tank now, and he is being repped by the Aneros. In fact, he looks like he is tanking it.
He is. In fact, the Oneros isn't really going down any farther either. You would expect... Is that a frigate down for... 2 frigates down, boundary violations, the Mollusk.
Yeah, yep, stream of boundary violations there. And damage is now going to Train to Kill in this Sleipnir. They've switched from the other Sleipnir and gone for this one instead.
Sure, we had 3 boundary violations, I'm sorry. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, damage-wise from the red team here, they're still going against that Punisher. And nope, he's being repped again by the Aneros.
Yeah,
so
meanwhile,
Train to Kill going down.
Train to Kill is taking the brunt of the damage from the Deepwater team, but his ASB just doesn't seems to be honey badgering along right now. We'll see if it see when it goes into reload if he gets into deep trouble. But the Scimitar there to back him up, I don't imagine he's gonna have a lot of trouble. These Sacrileges don't put out an amazing amount of DPS, and even though the Curse can nude out the invulns off the Sleipnir, Sleipnir has pretty reasonable resists. So.
Well, right now that Sleipnir, along with his ancillary rep and the remote reps of the Scimitar, is just tanking this damage of these Sacrileges. But when he runs out of cap charges for that ancillary, he's most likely going to go down, and it looks like he's going down now. He's still being repped by the Scimitar, but he's gradually losing shields. Yeah, whereas the red team is still just trying to kill this Punisher, and they're failing at killing that Punisher.
Yeah, I think it's a bad call. They're not seeming to touch the Oneros again. I don't know. I'm trying to look at the situation here. They are heavily wounded, but I don't see how that's going to affect the Sleipnir DPS. I guess there's webs and scrams on both the Sleipnirs, so they're having trouble getting range on their targets, and probably forcing them onto the Punisher because they have no other choice. They have nothing else they can shoot at.
Well, the Saber and the red team has just made a break away from the pack and is starting to chase down the Aneros on his own, and he's taking damage. So that Aneros now he's going to have to worry about his own survivability and repping, so there's more jobs for him. Let's see if his micromanagement is up to this.
Interesting note from CCP Fozzie, it appeared that the Griffin appeared to fly out of the arena on purpose in order to draw out the hostile frigs, and he succeeded in doing that, so it was good strategy on his part. So.
Yep, I mean, Griffins, being the mystical creatures of Greek mythology that they are, can sometimes do unusual things.
Well, here we go, the Oneros now at half armor. He is taking a little bit more damage.
Yep, he's being caught. That Sleipnir's, sorry, the Saber just by himself, even though he's dead.
Oh, Trash Ice Curse now into armor as well.
Yep, things are really quite interesting in this match right now. Still got a lot of damage on the field from the red team. without their support, we've got 2 Sleipnirs and a Cyclone, repped by that Scimitar. And it appears right now they're just spread out, trying to chase after ships that they're unable to catch.
Yeah, for a bit there, it really looked like Deepwater had control of this match, and they had him in a chokehold, and we're going to whittle down that Sleipnir, but it just didn't happen. The Sleipnir pulled it back, and suddenly now Deepwater are in Deepwater again.
Exactly, we've got the 3 sacrileges of Deepwater that are just chasing around this Scimitar, and Scimitars are substantially faster than these 3 sacrileges, so he can just lead them on a merry dance around this team.
Absolutely, the Scimitar is burning around at 2,300, 2,400, and the sacrileges look like they're barely pushing half that. There is no way they're going to catch him. It's a futile, idea unless they try to split off and fork him somehow. But they don't seem to be doing that. They're holding together as a pack, which not going to run them down that way. So.
Yeah, but these Sleipnirs, they're still trying to kill this Punisher, and right now when you've got 2 Punishers, an Aeneas, and a Curse all within range of these Sleipnirs, it's crazy going for that Punisher. They could just get rid of that Curse once and for all, or go after the Aeneas. I can't understand the FC's decision just to try and kill this Punisher.
To me, if you're going to split damage between the Curse and the Oneros, they're both. I mean, the Curse in particular is a very flimsy ship. You're going to force a lot of stress on the Oneros by putting damage down on the Curse. And meanwhile, the Oneros doesn't really have a whole lot of self-rep. I think he's probably got the rep Jones from the Curse on him, and enough damage on him is going to overwhelm that as well. So.
Yeah, but the Sacrileges have given up their chase on the Scimitar, and they've gone back on to train to kill Sleipnir, which is maybe not necessarily the most sensible idea, because he has managed to reload his ancillary shield booster in the time they've been away from him.
They're certainly putting it to work, though. His shields are bumping up and down. It makes me wonder why they don't try the Cyclone, who would have lower resists and probably a little less tankiness, but they are actually breaking the Sleipnir. We'll see if he goes into armor here. He is bleeding armor.
One interesting thing the blue team have done, though, now, they've sent the Curse after the Scimitar. So they've allowed the Scimitar just to stop Michael Warp driving, thinking he's safe because the Sacrileges have stopped going for him. But they've sent the Curse after the Scimitar to newt him. And at the end of the day, a neuted Scimitar just reps about as much as a dead Scimitar, so that was a sensible move from the blue team.
And that may be the difference, absolutely. All of a sudden, the Sleipnir was tanking just fine before is hopelessly dying. In fact, I think he's still getting some boosts off, but it's just not going to be enough. He's going to bleed into structure here shortly.
Yeah, this Sleipnir is most definitely going down. But interestingly, the Aeneas is approaching structure as well for the blue team. Looks like the Aeneas and Sleipnir are going to go down at similar times.
Yeah, looks like the Slep Michael first if he doesn't get another rep cycle off. He is down. The Oneros is still up. This will be interesting to see how this changes things now.
Yep, I don't believe a Sleipnir and a Cyclone can handle 3 Sacrileges and a Curse, so this looks like it's going to go the way of the blue team.
And it's absolutely a good call by the FC to chase down that Scimitar with the Curse and let the Sacrileges turn their damage on a better primary. That really was a turning point. Up until that point, it looked like it was going to go the other way. So
it's really important in the tournament when you're the captain for a team. You need to be very aware of what's going on in the field. When the match starts, you give your team your general plan, but things change, and as a captain, you need to be able to react quickly and change the orders and change to what's going on. So if you see an opportunity arise, like the FC here of the blue team saw with its Curse and Scimitar, it's important to seize those opportunities. And switching around your tactics quickly can be the difference between winning or losing.
Indeed, and it's absolutely something that the pilots themselves also need to be aware of, and they need to be able to filter the information to the FC appropriately as well, in concise manner. If you have 6 people shouting out information all at once, it's just chaos. But if you have a couple people relaying 1 or 2 word commands to the FC that he understands what they mean, you can have a very effective team communication without clogging up comms, and that's really important as well.
Exactly, and right now we have the Scimitar just hitting structure and about to die, and there's already a web and scrambler on the Sleipnir of Mr. Miner, so I presume he will be the next target. And the Aeneas, he's just hanging on in structure now. If he can kite out of range, he will probably survive. It's only really drones that are doing a huge amount of damage to him right now.
Yeah, indeed, this is just a matter of time before it's over here.
So, with this being match 3 and 1 each, it looks like the blue team will be the team who progress through.
It does seem to be
as much as we have loved the Scrumptious Ocular Secretion collectors with the longest name in the tournament, it appears that the length of the name does not reflect the length of the time he will spend in the tournament, and we're going to have to say goodbye to them tonight.
It does appear that way. That Sleipnir is going to stubbornly tank for a little while. He might be able to chunk down the Oneros, but I don't have much hope for it, to be quite honest with you. Cyclone now taking a little damage as well. It's kind of the last gasp for this Tiers team.
Yeah, exactly. When it's win or lose, just getting some extra points just counts for nothing. They should just hero in there and just die in as spectacular an explosion as they can manage.
You never know. Yeah, their entire enemy team could disconnect all at once and you could still win, so you might as well fight it out, but indeed, this appears futile, the chasing windmills at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It appears that the red team, yep, and they've been completely swamped by Deepwater, and just the Cyclone of Sashenka left.
And he's going to go down much more quickly than the Sleipnirs, I reckon. He's doesn't have the buffer, doesn't have the resist, and he's just going to melt here shortly as soon as the damage gets fully applied.
Yeah, look at his shield. Absolute chunks are coming out of that each time.
Oh, we are coming up against the timer, though, so we'll see. There's about 30 seconds left, a little less. We'll see if he goes down. Oh, he's into structure.
Yeah.
He's going to pop before time expires here. But they certainly milked it out for every last second of action we could get out of this last match of the day.
Yep,
Yeah.
and with that Cyclone about to go down, it seems the Scrumptious Ocular Secretion collectors have been drowned in an ocean of juicy tears by Deepwater.
And Deepwater do stay in the tournament. SOSC are on their way out. Thanks to everybody for tuning in today. It's been a long day. Hope you stayed with us. We appreciate those of you who did. And we'll be back tomorrow at 1600 morning my time, afternoon for those of you across the pond. We have another exciting day, a winner's bracket, and a few more on the loser's bracket. So look forward to seeing you. Thanks for coming out and watching, guys.